I'm Wonder Woman, aka Morgan, but today I'll be Wonder Woman as we accept the mission as superheroes to make popsicle stick superheroes. So this is what we are making. They will be our partners in crime today. So what you need to get started, great question. You should find a template on our website. I've done some coloring already, so mine might look a little bit different than yours, but I will catch you up to speed in just a moment. You will need a piece of construction paper, cardstock for your cape. Mine actually matches. And then you need another piece of paper, any color. Mine just happens to have a pattern on it. And that is going to be for our outfit. So this one has a pink one, and this superhero has a green one. And today, mine is going to have a plaid one. You're also going to need your scissors, 3 jumbo popsicle sticks, and some googly eyes. And I recommend a hot glue gun because that's going to make our craft the easiest to complete. If you have liquid glue, that will work, but you might have to let your superhero rest for a little bit before they get into action because they'll have to dry. So let's get started. If you're here today, I want to know, are you dressed up as a superhero? Send me a picture. Are you have a mask on? Send me a picture. Who's your favorite superhero? Clearly mine is Wonder Woman, but what is yours? So let's get started with our template. If you don't have the template, that's okay. What I want you to do is trace a really large triangle and cut it out. So as I get started with this, I'm going to move my camera so that you can see what I'm doing more clearly. If you have any trouble hearing me or seeing what I'm doing, just let me know. Put it in the comments. So I'm going to go ahead and get us set up for the next steps. Great, so now we can see our workspace. So like I said, I'm going to start with our big triangle. That's going to be our body. If for some reason you have smaller popsicle sticks at home, maybe those are the ones you had in your craft closet or the ones you bought, that's fine too. Your triangle will just be a little bit smaller. So whoever you're crafting with, grandma, mom, dad, auntie, they'll be able to help you make a smaller triangle. And tip to those who are the grown-ups crafting right now, if you're wondering how to do that, I would just recommend laying the popsicle sticks down and tracing the triangle. That way it's easiest for you. That's kind of how I've done it. Great. So I have my template cut out. This is going to be our body. Now I need to find the paper that I want to use for my body. I'm going to move my superheroes off to the side so that we have some more room to work. They'll come back, don't worry. So I have my body there, and I'm going to trace it on the paper that I want my superhero to wear, so what their outfit is going to look like. And kind of like I did yesterday when we made the owl bookmarks, I'm going to trace this in Sharpie so you can see easier what I'm doing. We're going to be pros of tracing and cutting by the end of this week. Great, so there you can see I have my triangle for the body. So now I need my scissors, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut that out. Now on this craft, it's a little bit different. You don't have to worry about getting all that black or your pencil mark, cutting all of that off, because it's actually going to be covered up when we glue it on to our popsicle sticks. And I'll show you what I mean in just a second. All right, So I can actually put this aside for a craft later on. And then I have my body. So let me show you what I mean about don't worry if you have markers on the side or pencils. Because when we have our popsicle sticks, look at that. It's going to fit perfectly right in there. Oh, my triangle moved on me. Hold on. There we go. So when we glue it on, you'll be fine. So don't worry about that. I know sometimes with my crafts, I like to have them perfect. They don't have to be perfect. So the next step, let's go ahead and actually put the body with the popsicle sticks together. So you are gonna, I recommend use a hot glue gun. If you have a grown-up with you, have them use the hot glue gun and help you with it because you can burn yourself. If you need to use liquid glue, that's fine as well. So let's see, I'm gonna grab my hot glue gun. And I'm just gonna put it on my sheet just in case I get some hot glue on my table. So kind of figure out where you want, let me do it so it's facing you. So this is the triangle that we're gonna be making. I recommend laying it out like this before, so you kind of have your shape already in your mind, so that next you can just put a dot of hot glue and push on your popsicle stick. And that way, like, see I just moved it so it matched here? That makes it easier because sometimes you're like moving one piece and then it shifts the whole triangle. So it's easier if I keep it in the shape. So I'm just doing a little dollop of hot glue and then moving it back so that it lines up, and I'm letting it cool. You're gonna have strings. Gotta love hot glue guns. They show you, they love you by leaving strings everywhere. And then I'm gonna just lift up this top one. As you can see, it's separating a little, and I'm just gonna squeeze a little bit of glue under there and push it down. I might actually, oh, I think I got it. If for some reason you don't get enough glue and it pops off, just put some more glue on. Great, so I'm gonna move my hot glue gun over so it can continue to heat up. Great, and then I'm just gonna give this a minute to cool. It's the great thing about the hot glue gun is it cools fairly quickly. If you're using liquid glue, this is where you might have to have your body rest a little bit. So you might just need to have it rest. That's fine too. The next part we're gonna do is we're going to put the colored side, maybe you have colors on both sides, whatever side you wanna be on the front, we're gonna put that kind of upside down so we see the back side. That's what we're gonna see here. I'm gonna continue to use my hot glue gun here. If you want to use your Elmer's glue, you can do that as well. But I'm gonna use my hot glue gun and I'm gonna just do a line, and a line, and push it on. Okay, this part is a little tricky, so you definitely probably want some help from whoever's doing the craft with you. But I'll probably just do like a line in the middle. Sometimes you have to push on your hot glue gun. Actually, I might do all 3 lines. Let's see. Sometimes it's a race against the hot glue. See if it dries too fast. So I'm doing 3 lines. And then I'm probably going to do a dot at the top. Essentially, you're just trying to secure the outfit. So however you feel that works best on yours, go for it. So now, be careful here. If you're pushing your paper on and the hot glue comes over the edge, it's going to burn your little fingers. So just be careful if that's what you're doing. So I'm just pushing it onto the hot glue or the glue stick or the liquid glue. But again, liquid glue, you're probably going to have your superhero rest. Feel free to put a comment in if you're having trouble and you want some advice like it's not sticking, what should I do? Feel free to ask me because I have experimented a couple of times to make a superhero. Great. So now we're going to flip it over and there's our body. So that's what yours should look like. This is so exciting. It's coming together. The rest we should be able to use a glue stick for, so don't worry about that. I think my glue stick actually fell on the floor. Here it is. All right, so I'm gonna put my body right here. For now, I'm gonna move my hot glue gun out of the way. Don't want that hazard around. And if we take a look at our template, we can see, what do we have left? We have the head, and then we have the superhero's mask. What I've done here is I've colored a box, which I'll have you do in a moment, for the arms and for the legs. So the first thing I want us to do is start on the head. You have a couple different options with your head. You can color the circle like I did. You can cut it out and trace it onto a colored piece of cardstock. However, whatever you want your superhero's body to look like, that's what you can use for this part. So I just colored in my circle and now I'm going to cut it out. I might leave the black circle. I think it might make the head look really, really cool. It'll be easier to see it. It will stand out. Great. And again, you can see it's not exactly perfect. I have more black on one side than the other. That's completely fine. So I'm going to add in another option here as well. So when I was experimenting and making my first superheroes, I made this guy first, and I loved him. And then I thought, well, what if I want to make a girl superhero? How would I do that? So I started to experiment, and I came up with this lovely girl. What I had to do, though, was at this point, you can see I had her face already done, the circle cut out. What I had to do was I had to take a piece of paper and I had to lay the head on. I'll hold her up so you can see. And I drew hair around the head and then I cut it out. So let me show you what I mean. I'm gonna cut this off. Just in case I have some makers out there who want to put hair. Even if you are a boy and you want to put like a mohawk, go for it. However you want, what do you want for hair? You can do that. All right. So I'm going to do it facing me to start, just so that, because I can't do it upside down. I'm not that good yet. If you've ever seen The Incredibles, this hair reminds me of Mrs. Incredible. So I just drew hair like all the way around. And then what I would do is glue this on, and then I can color in the hair. Now if you don't want hair, you can totally skip this part. It's totally optional. But then what I would do is, I'll show you kind of with my black marker. I might do some strands like this, and then like this. You could do barrettes. Those are just straight lines across. So you can kind of see how it's coming together. So that's an option for anyone out there who wants to do hair. So the next part. I'm not going to do hair on this one. I decided I'm just going to do him the way he is. So what I can do now is I'm going to draw on my face first before I put it on my popsicle stick. It's just easier. So I'm going to start with the smile down here. You could do a straight line across if you want your superhero to be serious, but I want mine to be a friendly superhero. So I'm going to start with the smile. And now, what else is missing? Eyes. Our poor superhero needs to be able to see what he's doing. So here I'm just going to use my glue stick and I have two googly eyes. So here's one, and here is my other. So I'm going to put the glue on the back of the googly eyes, and I'm going to push it right on. Oh wait, I'm missing our mask. Pull that off. Good thing it didn't stick. What we need to do is cut out our mask. It's getting ahead of myself because the eyes are my favorite part. See what happens when crafting gets to be so fun? All right, we're gonna cut out our mask, which is the last shape on your template. This is just gonna help, the template helps you create your mask to be the right size. It would be hard just to estimate, which is just another word for guessing. It'd be hard to guess how big we needed to make our mask. So as you can see, that's gonna fit perfectly. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna trace our mask onto the color that we're gonna use for our cape is gonna match our mask. So right here, I'm gonna trace this onto my other color. So this is a different color than what you had for their body. And I'll show you that. So I traced the mask. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut that out. Again, don't worry if your pencil's showing or a little bit of your permanent marker. That's fine. We're going to put that face down so we don't see it. So there's our mask. Oh, great. So now we can go back to our face. I'm going to make sure my smile is the right way. And then I'm going to glue it on. So I'm going to take the side that still has pencil or Sharpies or anything like that, and that's what I'm going to put the glue on. So you're going to put the glue on the back of this. Don't worry, it doesn't have to go all the way to the edges because the edges are actually going to hang off a little bit. And then I'm going to push it right down onto my face so it looks like that. And you can see my smile still. Now if you want to add in a small nose, you could do that as well. But I'm going to go ahead and get back to my favorite part, which is the googly eyes. And I'm going to push that on. I'm having him face me right now, so I make sure I put his eyes on right, and then I'll turn around and show them to you. And you will see I'm using the purple glue stick, so I might have a little purple around his eyes, but it will dry. I also have some colored googly eyes that I think would be cool to use. Okay. Superhero eyes are on. My favorite part. Okay. So now his face is ready to go, unless you want to do a nose. I'm trying to think. Wish I could poll you all. Should I put a nose? Let's put a nose. I'm going to put a nose, and how I'm going to do that is I'm just going to make a line down and then a line to the right. So it looks like an L. If you know how to make a capital L, it kind of looks like an L. I like the nose. I'm glad we went with that. Okay. Now what we need to do is we need to glue our face onto our body. So this is where we're going to put it. Right there. Okay. So what I would do for this one is actually put the glue on the top popsicle stick because that's really where it's going to reach the most. So see how this popsicle stick is the highest one? The one closest to you? Put a good amount of glue on there. You can just use your glue stick or again, your liquid glue. And then I'm just gonna push my face on. Push down on it so it stays. Great. There he is. So now he definitely needs some arms and legs if he's gonna be a superhero. So we need to make those. What we're going to do is we're gonna cut out his arms and his legs out of a piece of paper. You have a couple options. You can color a side of the template that I gave you, kind of like this, and make a square with whatever color you want. Or you can use construction paper. If you have construction paper, you can do that as well. So let me cut out the square, and I'm going to show you what we're going to do. So my template's done at this point. We can put that in our recycling bin. And then what we're going to do here is I can make 4 arms and legs right here in this box. Or if I want them really long, I could do them this way. Maybe I want them medium and I trim this. It's really however long you want them. If you want to just take a piece of paper and cut out a leg, you're like, I like this for my leg. That's fine. Just go ahead and trace this onto your piece of paper to make 3 more for your arms and your other leg. So what I'm going to do, if I hold this up, let's see, that's going to be his arm. I think that's pretty good. So I'm going to cut 1, 2, 3, and the last one left is 4. So I have 4 different pieces. They don't have to be the same. We're all different. We all have arms that are different lengths and legs that are different lengths. So our superheroes can be the same way. So I'm going to pick 2 that kind of look the same, close to it, for his legs. And then I'm going to pick these 2 for his arms. And what I'm going to do is take my glue stick, put a little bit of glue, and I'm going to put it just like this where his arms would be. Now it might be hard for you to kind of see on mine unless let me move it a little so his arms are sticking up. I usually put them more towards his head than towards down here. And mine's lighter today, so it's kind of harder to see. But there you go. So we're going to do the same. We're going to put glue on just half of it, just like that. And we're going to put it on the other side for our other arm. There's our arms. And then we're going to do the same for the legs. Do it on half of your piece of paper that you cut out, and then push it on. And here's our other one. Again, I'm putting the glue on half, and then I'm going to push it on to the popsicle stick. And there's his arms and his legs. Awesome. So we really only have 2 steps left. One is going to be making his cape, and the other one is going to be decorating his outfit with an S for superhero. So I'm going to do his cape next. Now, how are we making his cape? This is the coolest part. You know what it actually is? It's your hand. How cool is that? So your hand might be a little bit smaller than mine, but it's going to look like this. So I'm going to go ahead and trace my hand. Interesting fact, I've always had a hard time tracing my hand. So you're going to see I have to work really hard to do this. Take a pencil, and you might have to go really slow, and go slowly around each finger. Again, remember, it doesn't have to be perfect. When we're creating, we're trying to have fun. It doesn't have to be stressful, so we just do our best, and we love what comes out. But I do know sometimes it's frustrating. So if you're getting frustrated with this, ask for help. Have someone get you started, but I really want you to try to do it, because I know if you practice, you'll be able to get it. So I apologize, I used my pencil because I didn't want Sharpie all over my hands. So you can kind of see my hand here. I'm gonna go ahead and start cutting it out, and you do the same. And you might notice where your wrist would be. What I'm gonna recommend is just draw a straight line. I'm gonna make that nice and dark for you so you can see it. I did a straight line. So you can cut straight across that. And what I love about this craft is because God created us all different, our hands are gonna look different, so every cape is gonna be different. It's gonna be awesome. And I don't know about your fingers, but my fingers kind of look a little wavy on the side, so that's gonna look like the cape is waving in the wind. So let's see. I think on Monday when we did the hot air balloon, I told you I have a hard time cutting out in between my fingers. And look at me, here I am again doing it. I'm gonna be pretty good at this by the end of the week. You're probably already done because your hand's smaller than mine. Okay, so my hand is cut out. Woohoo! I feel like a winner when I do something hard like that. All right, so we have our cape. Should not call it a hand, it's a cape. What was I thinking? So now let me take my superhero and show you what we're gonna do. You can pick which side, I'll lift him up so you can see. You can pick which side you want his cape to come off of. This side or this side. I think I'm gonna go with this side, that's the one I like. You can move it wherever you want it. See how I can change how long his cape is? So what I would recommend, and this is what I did before, was I laid down my cape and I laid down my superhero and I kind of found where I liked it. So let's see, I kind of like seeing the thumb. That's my personal preference, but you can do whatever you want. As you can see here, these guys have thumbs sticking out kind of right behind their heads. So when you find a spot you like, what I would do is just draw a thin line right there, because you know what that's going to help us do? Know where we put our glue. So I have a thin line right there. I'm going to put glue all on this side, and then I'm going to lay it down and push my superhero on it. Get some good glue on there. Awesome. Okay. So now, because I have that line there, I already did the hard work. I know where this goes. I just line up that line with my popsicle stick, and I'm going to just push it on. So this is going to be attaching to your popsicle stick and to your body. Oh, I'm so excited. This is such a cool looking superhero. He's going to be able to join my team of superheroes. Great. So if you have that done, the last step is to decorate your superhero. So my superheroes just had S's on them for superhero. I'm going to put an S on this one as well, but you can also add things. If you want to add like a superhero belt that has like a bubble machine that puts bad guys to sleep, you can totally do that. If you want to do like a special piece of bubble gum that when he blows it up, he can float into the air, you could do that as well. So use your imagination and create something really cool. So I think I'm going to do an S, which I can't do upside down, so I'm not that good yet. I'm going to do my S kind of in the middle, and I'm going to make it bold. So I'm going to make it bold, and that means to just make it really thick, really wide, to go over it a couple of times. So that's my S, which looks right to me, and I don't know if it looks backwards to you because of the camera, but it is correct. And then let me show you what you could do for a belt. That I should be able to do upside down. And parents, as you did just see, I snuck in a piece of paper. If kids are crafting on a table you don't want Sharpie on, I do recommend sliding a piece of paper underneath. So what I'm going to do here is, I'm fortunate enough that I actually, oh no, my eyeball fell off. See, that happens. Let's do some glue. It's hard work fighting crime. His eyeball's already fallen off. Just put some more glue, stick it back on there. That happens. But I already have lines on my body, so I'm kind of fortunate that I'm just going to trace one of my lines, and then another line, and then I'm going to put a big buckle. I'm going to color that in, and I'll show it to you in just a second so you can see what the buckle looks like. I'm going to go all the way over to the side. There's his buckle. And then I might do like a pouch here that has something special in it. I might do a really cool wand that he can do to turn things into unicorns, whatever I want. So you can do a belt if you feel like it. But if you want your superhero to just be a superhero with just an S on their outfit, that's fine too. So there you go. Let me readjust the camera so that I can talk to you one more time before we end for today. There we go. That way you'll be able to see me, and I just wish I could see you, especially if you're in a superhero outfit like me. So, thank you for joining us today. It was so fun. Tell me about the adventures of your superhero. If they do something really fun today, take a picture and show me. Maybe they save one of your toys from the toy that only wants to eat candy for every single meal and gets really sick. He could be the candy villain. The options are endless, but I'm so excited that you made this with us. I also want to thank all of you that are going to join us on Saturday for our in-person crafting. Yesterday we got so many requests, we only have one spot left. So we're so excited. So if you're still out there and you want to join us, you better email me quickly because that one spot's probably going to go quickly. But again, we're hoping to do more events coming up in New Hampshire and Massachusetts. Tomorrow we're going to make fireflies. This is another really cool craft. So make sure you check out our Facebook page for the supplies you need and join us tomorrow. Tomorrow night's going to be a little bit later. It's going to be at 6 o'clock tomorrow night. So maybe you can't make it during the day, but night works really well. Tomorrow's for you. But as always, it's still the same that if you can't catch us live, it's going to be on replay here on our Facebook page. And we're also putting all of these videos on our YouTube channel. So make sure that you also head over to YouTube, subscribe to our page, because I plan on doing more crafts like this, and I'm going to be putting them on the YouTube page. So we want to make sure you don't miss out. So again, send me photos today. Social media, our hashtag is #PNP Makers Club. I want to see what you created. Now superheroes, you've been given a mission. Wonder Woman is signing off.